Wait. Yeah, so they paint the picture basically, right? Unfolding, which is just representative of the intent participants have been exhibiting over um, the relative time frames. So I'll tell you what I'm actually going to be looking at is I'm going to try to look at the Nasdaq trading in the Europe. I know that Tom How God mentioned. Wow, look at this! Look at how many transactions have been going through. Fucking me. I just say that because look how algo driven it is. Like Jesus, does it want to be any more clear? Anyway. And anyway, I'll be entering the same way as I would enter on all indices. So basically, how I will plan to do it is I'll look at the monthly bar of the participant's intent that comprises the monthly time period and assess whatever the in-play trend is. And basically, hang on, session accumulated, um, trading DOM, depth of market depth. Hang on, what's this? So the DOM's free now. DOM didn't used to be free. So you can only see one thing. It's a bit weird. What the hell? Well, it would help if I could. Yeah, so anyway, you look at the... Okay. Oh no. Yeah, this is really weird. What's quotes delta? Okay. Pros? Yeah. Well, I've got no idea what that is, but delta is like the buy, mine, seller, something, I don't know, something along those lines. Volume, current order book, chart volume profile. Yes, so this is the volume that's transacted within the chart perspective. So the in-frame chart perspective, basically, that's literally what we coin with the 1 hour chart perspective situation at hand. The 1 hour situation at hand is however the market's auctioned, like how participants have been willing to trade, like from at one point was this now moment in time, just like here, which eventually will become here, right? It will eventually become that 42. So if I hold my crosshair here, right there, you can see I had my crossover at what was once the in-frame chart perspective real-time now moment, and like from that point we've seen that market participants have primarily been in possession of the intent to trade with the prices what have been available, primarily on the best offer. Now that does not mean that there's been more buys versus sells, because there could have been more sellers, but like in terms of aggressive, right? But there was more people on the bid. So we're talking about aggressive buys and sells here, by the way. So it's like, of course, I've just realized actually, if, for example, primarily there are, well, actually, no, there could actually be more buys and sells in the market still move up, because if you've got a thin offer, right, but then you've got a pretty thick bid, and then you've got big sellers selling into that bid, but then you've got like buyers who don't really need to buy up that much of the underlying product to maneuver it to the upside, then they can actually move it up on less amount of volume, buy volume, yeah, and then the market pushes higher, right? But anyway, as we see, that point in time was now the left of the chart, right? Which obviously is subject to time. So prevails with tying down, like it's ongoing. Now it's gone. Now we can no longer see it. So, and anyway, at that point in time, that was the situation, like the in-frame chart perspective, when we seen the volume that's traded within the in-frame chart perspective and how it traded, meaning the style. So, like, did they keep buying it higher? Which, like, if you're looking at purely trajectories, it looks good to push higher here to like about, I don't know, about here. And actually, I would probably just go for about there, about this region right there, that high. And but I obviously don't know for sure because I don't see the higher time frames and I don't see bars, and that's what I like to look at the best. And you see, that would have resulted in me taking a loss. Obviously, it could actually potentially keep pushing to that point which I had outlined, which it looks like it's going for, to be fair. But yeah, I would not trade off this. No way. Anyway, um, um, yeah. So like this chart volume perspective. What's it called actually? Chart range volume perspective. Yeah. So the in-frame chart perspective, right? So again, the trajectory looks good to push higher, but then again, I can't be sure because the bars and what wrecked. So yeah, I would not be trading off this for sure. But anyway, yeah, so it's showing you the volume that's traded in frame, but like the session volume profile, it shows you the volume that's traded throughout the whole course of the day, right? So there we go, which is quite a lot actually. But anyway, yeah, so how I would be trading the indexes is just monthly and 2 week, analyzing the intent to trade, what comprises those time frames, chart perspectives, pushes. Fuck's sake. And basically concluding the post direction that the 2 week intent and week and monthly intent's likely to follow in, and and see how the most recent bar closed the way it did, showing how market participants most recently were willing to trade like with the price of what were available on this occasion throughout the most recent time period, and contributed to the subsequent way that the trajectory of that push is sloped in. And how it's likely to keep pushing as a result of the intent that makes up whatever way the push is structured, right? Um, and like, so how the push is likely to keep pushing, and then you just basically back whether that's likely to keep, and then you'd also keep in your mind, if we were assigned to get on board with that most probable direction that the hang on that the most probable direction is what the monthly is likely to push in, how would we need to see the monthly chart perspectives in play trend set up like? And then basically, we would just drop down to the weekly 4-day, 3-day, 2-day, and assess how those time frames are set up, and whether they're set up in a fashion what suggests that the market gets likely to set up in that fashion, how we would need to get on board with if we were to get on board with the monthly direction in setting up in that fashion, how we would need it to do so. Or if it's just like to keep pushing to the downside, then yeah, same thing. Just go with that. Go with the facts. They're the facts of how market participants are perceiving the worth of the underlying asset. Like now, they're willing to trade like, and how the push is likely to keep pushing like. Drop to the 1 hour, and then just follow the same procedure. But like, if those next step lower higher time frames in the a major array that we analyze, like from weekly, 4-day, 3-day, 2-day, and then daily, aren't set up in a fashion that suggests that the market's likely to set up in the appropriate way of how it must do so if we were to get on board with the monthly, then simply go with that, right? And then look for the 1 hour set up appropriately as of the key time period you're looking to trade, and then yeah.